Welcome to AFL Outsiders, brought to you by AFL FanZone.
Hello there, AFL fans and football fans. We've got the Week 13 Game of the Week with the Cleveland Gladiators heading down to Florida to face the Jacksonville Sharks this Saturday, June 25th at the C-Best Field in Jacksonville. This game will be aired live on ESPN2 at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, while Jacksonville has never lost to Cleveland at home. What to watch for? The playoff picture is really starting to take shape as the first team to clinch a home playoff game came after Week 12 when Orlando took down these Jacksonville Sharks. Cleveland is the next team to try and distance themselves as the home contender in this year's playoffs with a win on Saturday. The Gladiators currently hold an edge due to their Week 6 come-behind victory against these Sharks at home. Another win could all but guarantee a road playoff game for Jacksonville. Will Jacksonville ever snap out of its funk and play to its potential? We've been mentioning since early in the season that this team on paper was one of the best in the league. But up to this point, we have only seen that potential in spurts. Just in the past 4 weeks, they beat Orlando, then got blown out by Philly at home, only to dismantle the Storm, then come home last week and not show up against the Predators. No other team in the league is more frustrating to figure out than this Jacksonville team. Cleveland controls its own destiny as the number 4 seed. With only 4 games to go, it would be very tough for them to jump into the top 3 seeds. But at 6-6, the Gladiators sit atop the 3-team race for the number 4 seed. That's the good news. The bad news is the final 4 games are on the road against Jacksonville, Philadelphia, LA, and Arizona. If Cleveland holds on to this spot, then they should be pretty hot heading into the round 1 of the playoffs. Stats that matter. Number 1, Jacksonville and Cleveland are the only 2 teams, not counting the 2 1-10 squads, who have been outscored at home. As a matter of fact, they are tied, giving up the league's second worst average at home of 54.4 points per game. Cleveland also averages 58.5 points per game on the road, while Jacksonville averages only 53 points at home. Jacksonville's lack of success at home has earned them the second worst home winning percentage in the league, behind only the Tampa Bay Storm. Number 2. Cleveland quarterback Arvell Nelson is starting to come into his own and play like the bona fide starting quarterback in this league. Since Week 9 against Philadelphia, he has thrown 29 touchdowns to only 1 interception, with no fumbles. This isn't the Jack linebacker / quarterback we saw earlier in the season. Nelson has developed into a weapon for Coach Tunn, and Jacksonville is going to need to game plan against him. Number 3. No one in the Arena Football League means more to their offense than wide receiver Joe Hills does for Jacksonville. He has 1,339 yards of total offense, which accounts for 39.4% of the entire team's offense, while also accounting for a league-leading 46.4% of the team's offensive touchdowns to 39. Some may argue that this stat is why the team is struggling so mightily. Tommy Grady is zeroing in on Joe Hills, and other weapons on the team are beginning to get frustrated. But what does it mean? I mentioned it earlier, but if Cleveland wins, they move to 7-6 for 3 games and 2 byes the rest of the way. While Jacksonville falls to 5-7 and would need LA and Cleveland to lose a majority of their final games to move into the 4th spot. But if Jacksonville wins, they move to 6-6, and depending on how LA plays against Arizona, may even move into the number 4 slot with a big game against Cleveland with 4 games in the final 5 weeks. Bottom line, after 11 games, I think it's safe to say that this is what the Jacksonville Sharks are. They're talented, but severely flawed. This is a football team who's capable of beating the best and losing to the worst. We should be talking about them fighting for our number 1 or 2 seed, but unfortunately for Coach Moss, that isn't the case. On the other hand, Cleveland continues to fly under the radar and win games behind the play of quarterback Arvell Nelson. I believe Cleveland is going to go to Jacksonville and play just good enough to win, while allowing Jacksonville to play just poorly enough to lose. I got Cleveland winning a very close one, 49-45. The other games of Week 13, on Friday, June 24th at 7:30 on CBS Sportsnet, we had the final regular season war on I-4 as the Storm head across state to play the Predators. Even without Randy Hibbert, I got Orlando running away with this one 60-35, as Tampa Bay has clearly quit on the season. On Sunday, June 26th at 6 p.m. on ESPN3, you had the surging Arizona Rattlers traveling to LA to take on the Kiss. Every time I think this game is going to be close, it turns into a blowout. But I think the pieces Coach Smith had put together on defense have made the Kiss very formidable on the back end. That being said, I still see Arizona winning 55-42. And last but not least, Univision is back this Monday, June 27th, with the Philadelphia Soul at the Portland Steel at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Philadelphia will be looking to avenge their loss last week at the hands of the Rattlers, and I got the Soul winning big, 70-55. But that's it. I hope you guys are able to catch some of these games. The playoff picture is really starting to round into shape, and I just think it's going to be a pretty exciting week. The whole league is on a bye week next week for the 4th of July. Look for every team's best effort. Take it easy, everyone. I'll see you on Tuesday for the Tuesday evening quarterback. Hello to all you Arena League football fans out there. I want to personally welcome you to join us, AFL FanZone, every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for a weekly recap of all things AFL. You got stuff to do on the weekends, which means you probably don't have time to sit down and watch every single game every week. That's where AFL FanZone comes in. Not only do we break down the week, but we provide you with everything you need to stay up to date with the AFL, including Players of the Week, Power Rankings, and the weekly standings. Best part is, the recap is fully interactive between the viewers and the host. Just search AFL FanZone on YouTube and you can find all of our archived videos, including game previews, recaps, and weekly updates. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and at our website at www.aflfanzone.com. AFL FanZone, your internet home for the best AFL fans.